Welcome to your practice. Today we're going to do a yoga class to help you find your balance after travel. So whether you have a long drive or, like an airplane ride, and maybe you're going through some jet lags or whatever it feels that your body is a little bit off, I hope this practice helps you to reconnect to inner balance, nourish some of the main joints, especially the hip flexors, the lower back, and who knows, maybe the shoulders and the neck also gets a little bit wonky. So let's just take a moment here. Let's start on our back. So come into your back and keep the knees bent, feet on the ground, and feel free to kind of place a blanket under your neck if you have it nearby. You don't have to, but it's always nice to kind of give the neck that extra support. Just rest your hands on your abdomen. Close your eyes and just kind of arrive here for a moment. Just kind of notice the entire spine resting on your mat, relaxing the shoulders. Feel free to open your feet a little bit wider than hip distance so you have plenty of space there for the knees to kind of float on their own without any effort. And observe that breath, a gentle breath, as your abdomen might be pushing into the palms as you breathe in. And see if you can start manipulating that breath by taking deep and slow breath. Just kind of not only relaxing your body and your breath, but you're also relaxing your senses. Tapping into that self-awareness. Where am I? How does it feel to be here? Just kind of recalibrating that inner compass. Sometimes we get lost when we travel, but it takes a while for the body to adjust. Just a couple more breaths. Deep inhale through the nose. And very slow, full exhales all the way out. Kind of nourishing that nerve system here. One more breath all the way in, slowly. And full exhale. Keep your knees wide, but hop them into your chest. Almost like you're doing a child's pose on your back. Just kind of let the feet relax here so your knees are wide. Kind of gentle stretch of the inner thighs. Just kind of really pushing and bringing the knees a little closer to your body. Keep the lower back on the floor. And just take one more inhale. And full exhale. Just find your hands so they're on top of your knees, and you're just gonna gently move them in circles so we can bring the knees together at the heart center, and then push them forward and separate them out to the side, bring them back to the chest. Just a very slow movement here to bring that gentle lubrication of the hip socket, right? The only way to maintain healthy joints as we age is through movement, right? That creates that synovial fluid, right? That liquid gel between cartilage, the bones. So this is exactly what the body craves for. It's just that movement, gentle in all the joints. So just a couple more rounds in here. And as you move in circles, notice all the physical sensation on the lower back, the front of the pelvis. And then bring the knees together in center and then push them forward together and bring them back. So you're pushing the knees forward and back from the chest. And just testing the lower abdomen a little bit. So when you push the knees forward, your thighs are coming on top of the hips. Press the abdomen so you're not arching too much the lower back. Good, just one more like this. Beautiful. And then release that left foot on the ground and cross your right leg for that 4 figure with the left foot on the ground. We're gonna start with this gentle outer hip stretch on the right side. So you can rest the upper arms on the floor, pressing the elbows, and just kind of gently using your fingertips to press the right thigh away from your body. Flex your right foot and continue relaxing the neck and shoulders. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Beautiful. We're gonna switch side, release your right foot on the floor. Bring your left and cross it on top of the right leg. And gently with your left fingertips, push that left thigh away from the body. And you're welcome to explore how close or far you want that right foot to be in relation with your hips. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. Good, release that left foot on the ground again. And this time, open your feet as wide as your mat. We're gonna extend the arms out to the side, even maybe bend the elbows. And we're gonna rock both knees to the right. So like that windshield wipes, we're gonna stay here for a moment. So your thighs, your knees are trying to go down to the floor. And your left hip is the one that kind of hovers off the mat. See if you can gently, energetically draw that left knee down to the floor a little bit, pushing the hips a little bit more to the right. That's gonna bring a gentle stretch on the quads and the hip flexor on the left side. Of course, that gentle twist of the middle and lower back. So just continue breathing here. One more inhale. As you exhale, come back up to center. Keep the feet where they are, far apart from each other. And then other side. Both knees are dropping to the left. And just feel as you continue reaching the top of your right hip to the left. Breathing to that stretch in the front of the quad as you try to bring that right knee a little closer down. It's floating. It's not going to touch the floor. But it's just activation, stretch here. Good, let's do that one more time on each side. Bring the knees up and let them roll all the way to the right. And you explore your boundaries here. Maybe you can push a little bit more, maybe not. Just go into where you feel sensation and then stay there to relax. Beautiful, slowly come back up and then switch inside. So pretty much we're opening everything from the lower extremities, so lower back, middle back, and hips in a very gentle way. It's kind of acknowledging the type of energy the body feels after long travels. And slowly come back to center. Once again, hug the knees into the chest, keeping the knees far apart, so it's like a child's pose on their back. Take a deep breath in. You can move your feet here in circles, so kind of massaging your ankle joints and spreading your toes. One more breath, and feel free to kind of gently rock side to side. And since we are in here, let's go into that baby pose, right? So you can bring your hands between the legs to reach through the heels, the ankles, or the outer edges, or your toes, whatever you're able to grab. And then you're gonna bring the heels straight up to the sky and pull your feet down to the floor as you push your foot into the hands. And once again, keep the lower back rooted and gently rock side to side, keeping the breath nice and slow. 2 breaths, soften your face and eyes. One more inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Bring your knees together And then keep the legs straight up to the sky and keep the knees above the hips. So this is activating a little bit more the muscles on your legs. Your hands can be at your side, reaching out, whatever feels right for the shoulders. Just stay here for a moment. Find that sweet spot where your legs are feeling like they're floating. This is a really, really good pose to nourish and relax your nerve system as you bring some energizing feeling into the legs, especially after sitting or walking too much. This is absolutely like a best self-care for your legs. So just one more breath here. Good, and then bring those knees back to the chest, tie hug, knees together, squeeze those inner thighs, rock gently side to side again. Good, and then from here, we're gonna roll all the way to the right. And take a moment there as you are on your right side. And then from here, we're gonna do some gentle outer hip stretch. So very gentle warm up today. Stack the knees, stay on the right. You can use your right arm as a pillow, and you're gonna extend that top leg right in front of you. And see if you can bring that left foot a little bit above, like you're trying to go to the top of the mat. You're gonna feel some gentle stretch around the glutes and the outer hip. Your left hand can press into that hip crease and pushing that leg away from the body, or you can use that left hand to add some kind of gentle massage on the IT band. But just try to keep the inside of your left foot down to the floor, kicking through that left heel. So you're trying a little bit of stretch of the hamstring. Very gentle stretch here. Keep the breath relaxed. Relax the shoulders. We're stretching so many muscles in the back of the leg. Try to activate the front of the quad to grab that leg a little bit more. One more inhale. Now, as you exhale, bend the knees. So now we're going to stack the knees back. So once again, rolling fully. And just notice any sensation there. Now we're going to roll into our abdomen from here. So take your time to settle into your abdomen. And then from here, we're going to bend that left knee out to the side, foot out to the side, and just kind of bring in that knee forward. And you can be on your forearms. You can place your hands on top of a blanket if the floor is too harsh on the elbows. And once you are settled here, try to drop the left hip a little bit down to the floor. So you're going to notice that the left hip is lifted. I want you to drag it down to the floor. So now we're stretching gently the groin area of the left hip and the inner thigh on the left side without using any tension or too much flexibility. We're just relying on gravity, pressing the body a little closer to the floor. Feel free to drop the head here, maybe swing the head side to side, also relaxing the neck and shoulders. Any tension that sometimes we accumulate on the upper body when we travel. Most humans, when we travel, even though we travel for fun, sometimes vacation or business, there is a sense of stress when we travel because we are out of our element. There is a lot going on. So we're almost like in that survival safe mode unconsciously. And that creates some tension and stress around the neck and shoulder. It's just the way it is. So just kind of let all that drain right now. I'm going to stay here for just one more breath. Good. And then slowly extend that left leg, neutralize your head. Extend the left leg behind you and come into your Sphinx. So now we are more openly and intentionally opening the chest. Just kind of stretch the abdomen, strengthen the upper back, relax the shoulder blades back and down. Keep the back of the neck lengthened. And use your forearms and your feet and your thighs to press into the floor. So you're active here. Good, take one more inhale. Good, and then as you exhale, release the chest down and then roll into your left side. So we're coming into the left side of your body on that fetal position. So we can do that on the left side, the whole practice on the left. So you can use your left arm as a pillow here. Just take a moment, keep those knees stacked. Make sure that the side of the left hip is grounded and supported. And here's where we are going to kick that top leg in front of you and bring that foot a little higher as it goes, so you can feel sensation on the glute area, the outer hip sensation. You can use your right hand for support or to massage, or bring in that right thumb into the hip crease to kind of push it away from the body if you feel some pinchy sensation there. Once the body is into the pose, and the next step is for us to focus on our breath. The breath is always the tool that helps soften physical tension. So the body gets the message that we feel safe and it's okay to relax. So then the stretches become a little bit more proactive. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just one more inhale. And exhale. Slowly bend that top leg back into stacking the knees for a moment. And just notice whatever sensation you feel in the right. And then from here, we're going to roll into our abdomen. So take your time to roll back, settle the upper back, settle the forearms, settle the hips. And then we're going to bend that the right knee out to the side, reach it forward, toes out. And then once your body's settled, remember to drop a little bit energetically or maybe a little bit more with intention that right hip into the mat. Once again, you can drop the head and just kind of swing the head side to side, slowly pressing the shoulders away from the ears, and you're going to feel all that muscles behind the neck getting a gentle stretch. Stay with your breath, deep inhale and exhale. One more breath. Good. Bring your head to center. Extend that right leg behind you. Sphinx pose again. Now, this time on Sphinx, point your toes out and open your legs as wide as your mat. And if that feels weird on your knees, then keep the top of the feet pressing into the floor. But we just want to keep the legs way wider. That's going to minimize and open the sacrum area here. And then bend the knees right there with the knees wide apart, maybe as wide as your mat. And you're just going to gently move the feet side to side. So once again, softening tension the front and the back of the pelvis. You can kind of relax the shoulders here. Don't worry about opening the heart so much. Just kind of just hanging out pretty much here. Let's take one more breath. Good, and then release the feet down. We're gonna push back into our first child's pose. So take your time to set your hands, tuck your toes, and push to your knees. And then adjust your body to place it in child's pose. So maybe child's pose might feel intense still, maybe it feels a little better. Just kind of let the hips drag down into the heels. And walk your hands as forward as you can, so you can also stretch your armpits, the shoulders, and the entire spine, pressing the forehead on the mat. Feel that breath on your abdomen. Breathing into the upper back between the shoulder blades. Breathing into the groin areas. One more breath. And from where you are, slide your hands back. And let's come into our tabletop. So we're going to come into our hands and knees. So take your time there to settle your knees right under your hips, your hands right under your shoulders. And let's just do that beautiful classical cat-cow 3 rounds together. As you inhale, we lift the chest, we lift the pelvis. As you exhale, you close your chest and round the upper back as you drop the pelvis. And try to move slowly, just kind of, once again, movement to bring lubrication to all the joints on the spine. Moving the head last very gently so the neck feels that love. And one more breath, inhale. And one exhale. Good, let's do our first downward facing dog just to bring a little bit of heat. So walk the hands maybe slightly forward. What we're gonna do here first, let's just do it transitionally slowly. So you are in tabletop, your hands are slightly forward so they are beyond the shoulders. You're gonna tuck your toes under, engage the abdomen slightly in, and we're gonna float the table here by lifting the knees a little bit off the mat. And keep pushing the floor away. Now bring the chest a little closer to your thighs with the knees off the mat. And then start lifting the hips up and drop the heels back down. It's a very mindful, slow way to go into downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. Feel free to do a wide stand downward facing dogs to continue opening more the inner thighs, the head of the glutes. It's gonna feel weird to do a downward facing dog with your feet as wide as your mat, but it's just kind of targeting different muscles, especially around the calf, behind the knees. Keep your arms pushing and strong. One more breath in here. And take a long exhale. One more inhale. Good. And then rise the heels and drop the heels down. So we're stretching the toes, activating the ankle joints, right? Lift the toes off. If you are pressing through the ball of your foot, it's kind of feeling your feet grounding you as you spread your toes. Just one more like this. Beautiful. Take your time to now walk the feet to the very top of your mat. Take your time to get there. Once you go to the top, we're gonna stay in standing forward fold and super bend the knees. Keep those legs a little break. Drop the head to the crown of the head pointing all the way to the floor. Rest your fingertips on the floor and just let your chest come a little closer to your legs. And just kind of shake the head like a no, like yes. Just kind of feeling cervical here, the back of the neck. Good. A very gentle rocking of your body weight back and forth so you feel your weight on your feet. So feel the heels, your toes are spreading wide. Sometimes I like to imagine that my feet are like my hands touching the ground. So you're grounding and using your hands like a sensation, like an extension of your body that allows you to be more connected to the ground. So that brings a little bit more appreciation and awareness to how much you actually are engaging your feet, your toes. One more breath. Beautiful. As you inhale, take your time to come all the way up to standing. Our first one of the practice. Slowly transitioning off the floor. Give yourself a long stretch, maybe a gentle open of the heart here. Very gentle back bend. Keep pressing your pelvis forward, spreading the toes, reaching the arms up, and then exhale, release the hands by your side. But do have some salutations to connect movement with breath. It's gonna kind of move the energy that sometimes feels stuck when we travel. So take an inhale, reach the arms overhead, long stretch. Bend the knees as you exhale, come into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway up, hands on your thighs, lengthening the neck. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees. Be kind to your body. Inhale, halfway up again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reaching arms up. And exhale, forward fold. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Long exhale, release. Inhale all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Last round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, forward fold again. Good. Stay forward fold, bend the knee, and rest the palms on the floor. And walk your feet slowly back into downward facing dog. And really feel that stretching of the spine, feeling like your hips are pointing up to the ceiling. Breathing through the nose. Breathing out. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Drop into your knees nice and slow all the way down to the floor. So you're going to that transition of floating table and then letting the knees rest down. And then open the heart, inhale. And then exhale, round and push. Good. Come into a child's pose, but let's do this variation. Keep your knees where they are. Keep the toes tucked under. So you're gonna press the hips into the heels and extend the arms in front of you. So this is a variation of child's pose on your heels with your toes tucked under. And just stay here for one breath. As you inhale, lift the head, rock the shoulders forward so they are above the hands. Keep the knees where they are. Keep the toes tucked under. And see if you can drop the pelvis a little bit forward down. So it's almost like you're doing a plank on the knees. So if you need to walk the hands a little bit more forward, go ahead. Just forward enough that you feel like you have to engage the core so your pelvis doesn't collapse down to the floor. And then untuck the toes and gently bring the thighs, the hips, the core, everything down to the floor. I'm gonna slide myself back so I don't run out of room. Slide your hands next to your rib cage, open them as wide as the mat, and let's do a baby cobra. Shoulders back, lifting the chest, pressing through the feet and the hips and hands. Exhale, release the forehead back down. Take an inhale, tuck your toes under, and very slowly push the floor away with your hands and go back to your knees. As low as you can, because this is building a little bit of strength. And go back into that variation of child's pose with your toes tucked under, heels up. And that's going to be the cycle. We're going to do this 3 more rounds, right? So take an inhale, toes tucked under, continue moving your body forward, rocking into that plank on the knees. Stay here for a moment. And then very slowly, you're gonna start dropping the thighs, the hips, the abdomen, right? As you bend the elbows, untuck the toes, press the forehead into the mat. Ground your body, your hips, your feet, your legs, your hands. And as you bring the elbows back, like almost like you're trying to hug the rib cage, press, and come into that baby cobra. Imagine the back of the neck is long and keep your gaze down and forward. Slightly forward, not fully forward. Drop the chest and head down. Push slowly back to your knees. And then continue rocking the pelvis back into that child's pose variation. Just try it again. Inhale slowly into that plank on our knees. Moving slowly. Slow is the new awesome. And then continue lowering your body slowly back into the ground. Settle your body for that beautiful baby cobra. Strong upper back, strong legs, breath relaxed. Chest down, slowly back to the knees. And continue into that child's pose variation. And one more like that. Inhale here. As you exhale, rocking into that plank with the knees on the floor. Feel the core engage. Slowly bending the elbows to allow the body to come down to the floor. Rest the head down. Prepare the body. Inhale, find that baby cobra. Strong glutes. Exhale, release down. Pushing back to your knees slowly. And back into that child's pose. Very nice. Take an inhale. Come back into that tabletop and just, now you can adjust your hands. You can adjust your knees. We're going to do that cat-cow again. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round and push. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. We're going to do a low lunge now. So if you would like to use blocks, this is a good opportunity to grab them and have them nearby. If you don't want to use blocks, if you don't have blocks, that's okay. You can still come into your fingertips. So once you settle your hands a little bit forward, as wide as the mat, bring your right foot forward and keep your right foot and your left knee as wide as your hips, and we're going to rock the pelvis forward. So the intention of the hands, whether they are on the ground or at the block, is to press so you can lean and open the chest and lean back. So always imagine the shoulder blades are coming back and down to support the back of your rib cage. That way you feel more open in the front of the body, stretching your abdomen and all the way down to the front of the pelvis. You might even have some sensation in that front leg of the inner thigh. It's all part of that deep stretch here. Your neck and shoulders are relaxed along with the breath. And we're going to do that sequence again, repetition, just to kind of give the muscles enough space and time for them to process the intention of the movement. We're going to rock the pelvis back, stretching the front leg and coming into that forward fold, right? Main target here is always the hamstring, but also sometimes when you flex that front foot, you're stretching your ankle, you're stretching your calves. Maintain your abdomen is strongly pressed in, suck it in to support the lower back. Make sure your entire body is in the center of the mat. Beautiful. Let's do that 2 more rounds. Inhale, you rock forward into that low lunge. Settle the foundation, and then the upper body leans back and relaxes as it grows taller. Exhale, half split. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, half split. And then slowly come back into that low lunge. Now, keep your left hand down, whether it's on the block or your fingertips. We're going to twist our chest to the right. So your right arm can be on the right thigh to kind of press and look back. Your right hand can reach up or can reach back. It depends on the shoulders. It depends on what the body is craving. So this is where a little bit of agency and anatomy, not anatomy, autonomy plays a big role in your practice because you know what your body might need or might not like. So just go for it. Just one more breath. Good, and then close the twist with your chest. Release your right hand at your side. We're gonna lift the back legs. We're coming into a high lunge with the hands on the ground, right? So feel free to adjust, maybe wider your stand a little bit so you can lower the pelvis so that front thighs feel strong. Now we're going into some strength. So all that balance between flexibility and strength. Keep the back thigh lift and maybe rise the back heel a little bit higher. So that's going to activate more the front of the leg. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, twisting yourself to the right. Once again, hug the right hip in so you're not kicking it out of the mat. Right hand can reach up or you can reach back or you can rest it on the thigh. Either option that allows you to keep a breath relaxed. One more inhale. Look down, look up, look by the side. Also acknowledge where your neck needs to be. Good. And then slowly release the twist. Release both hands on the floor and step forward nice and slow for standing forward fold. Grab opposite elbows. Feel free to bend the knees and just kind of dingling side to side. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Release your hands, come all the way up to standing. Long stretch, inhale. And exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, hand on the floor, kicking back, 1 foot at a time, downward facing dog. Keep your blocks nearby. So we're going to do that on the other side, maybe give it 2. Keep wider them. And stay here in downward facing dog for a full breath. Inhale. And exhale. Nice and slow. Come into that floating table, right? So we're going to bend the knees, kind of floating above for a moment. And then let them drop all the way down to the floor. Push the pelvis back into that variation of child's pose. Let the forehead stop into the ground. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the head and come into that plank on your knees. Very slowly. You rub the pelvis forward, but you use the core so the pelvis don't collapse. And then take your time to bend the elbows and drop the body all the way down to the floor. Rest the forehead on the mat, settle the body. And then as you inhale, find that baby cobra. And exhale, release the head down. Push back into that variation of child's pose. Back to your knees, slowly, slowly, slowly. Upper body strength right there. Back into that child's pose to gather your breath. And then as you inhale, back into that tabletop cat-cow. So everything is connected. Repetition to get the body relaxed, the muscles strong, and building very strong connection in the neurons in the brain when we do new stuff. Good, neutral spine. We're going to bring that left foot forward for that low lunge. Here's where you can reuse the blocks again. And just notice how different your right is versus left. It's always different. Sometimes both sides are equally in discomfort. And sometimes one is more than the other. Just take a moment here to breathe into all the sensations that might be happening right now in the body. Practice more kindness, less judgment, more compassion and understanding. Traveling can be shocking for the body, right? We get dehydrated, the food is different, the excitement, everything, right? So your body's going through some restore time. Good, let's go into that split. Press your hips back, extend the front leg. Just kind of breathing into that deep stretch of the back of your left leg. And we're gonna do that cycle 3 rounds. Inhale slowly back into that low lunge. And every time you go into a pose, explore the edges, but find that relaxation. Just kind of letting the body to open up by himself. Exhale slowly back into the half split. Remember to flex your left foot, printing your left heel down. Inhale, low lunge. Stretch the front body, strengthen the back body. Exhale, half split. Inhale, that low lunge. Stay here, keep your right hand down and find that twist to the left. Place your left hand anywhere that feels the right choice. Relax the shoulders and the breath. Beautiful, close that twist. And we're gonna come into a high lunge. So we're gonna tuck the toes and lift the back leg and just kind of settle here for a moment. Just adjust your stand, and if you need to wider your stand, if you need to adjust the feet. And then find your twist to the left. Once again, wherever your hands needs to go. Wait a moment. The sun is coming strongly through my windows. I think it's kind of like washing the colors in the image, but that's okay. I'm still here. One more inhale. Close that twist, nice and slow, and then step forward, standing forward. And bend the knees, bring your hands behind you, maybe grab opposite elbows, maybe interlace the fingers. It's a little shoulder stretch here, dropping the head in between your knees, maybe chest resting on the thigh, leaning into your toes, equal pressing into the heels, breathing, breathing, breathing. One more breath. Inhale, release the hands and press your feet down to lift yourself all the way up, arms overhead. Long stretch. A little back bend at the top if that feels good. Pressing the pelvis forward. And then exhale, forward fold, nice and slow, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. And then exhale, back into downward facing dog. So you can place your blocks out to the side. Take your time to feel your last dog of the practice. If you want to explore that variation of dog we did at the beginning, your feet a little bit wider than hips. Keep lifting the sitting bones. Keep pushing with your hands and feet down so you can feel your body going up into the ceiling. One more breath. And then as you exhale, rise the heels, bend the knees, come into that floating table, nice and slow, core strong, upper body strength, and then drop the knees all the way down, untuck the toes, back into that child's pose. Normal child's pose, pressing the top of your feet, knees wide, chest between the thighs, hands reaching forward, head on the ground. Just take a moment there to assimilate everything we've done. Movement helps to move energy in the body. When we move the energy of the body, tension, stress, tightness, softens. Sometimes that tension can be physical, or sometimes that tension can be mentally or emotional. It's all part of being human. Good. Slide your hands back, lift the head. Just come into a seated position. You can kick the legs in front of you. I'm going to use my blanket because lately I feel like it helps to create more space for breath in my legs and hips, especially the lower back. I'm all about pampering my body. So if you want to, you can. You don't need to, you don't. Settle into the hips. Extend the legs in front of you. Shake them out. And we're going to come into Janu Sirsasana. So as you bend the right knee, bring the right foot inside the left thigh. Let me face a different angle so you can see a little better. This way. There we go. And then you have the option to forward fold between the knees if you want to have more neutral spine. But if you're going for a gentle twist, make sure the chest is forward fold over that extended leg, right? So you have the option between the knees or over that left leg. Just pay attention to how it feels more grounding for you. Sometimes we think more is best, but sometimes less. It gives the body a signal that it's okay to be where you are. You don't have to be more. You are exactly the way you need to be right now. Sometimes approaching the practice from a place of doing what the body really feels will help support how it feels instead of changing how we feel through stretches. I hope I'm making sense. Maybe not. Let's take one more breath here. And slowly come back. Walk your hands. We're going to switch sides. So we're going to swipe the legs. Right extended, left bent. Settle here. Choose the option you like to forward fold. You keep both legs strongly grounding you towards the floor. And breathe. If you need to micro-bend that knee of that extended leg, please do it. Use blocks if that feels better here, if you want to rest the forearms or blocks. Or maybe a block underneath that left knee. Whatever helps you. One more inhale. As you exhale, walk your hands back. Let's come into butterfly or Baddha Konasana also, right? In Sanskrit. Heels together, sole of the feet touch. Play with the distance between the heels and your hips. Adjust the pelvis. If you're sitting in something, make sure you feel stable. And then allow the knees to forward fold. Just take a time here. Keep your spine nice and tall. As best as you can, maintain those shoulders above the hips. That's going to activate your core. So imagine between the navel and the lower ribs, you're trying to grow a little bit. So that feels a little bit more like tightness. Your cores are active. The lower back might feel active too. Relax the shoulder and imagine the back of the head is pulling you up through the crown of the head. So this brings more awareness into a good posture and takes your attention away from the groin or inner thighs that they might be going intense. Now you can stay right here if that feels right. You can forward fold slowly until your body says, please stop. Or you can lean back and open the heart if that feels the best of the three options. Standing still, forward fold, or leaning back. I'm going to stay here for full breath. Feel free to relax, close your eyes. Just let gravity pretty much make your body feel heavy. There's no effort on your end, just simply be in it. One more breath, inhale. As you start exhaling, slowly walk into center if you're doing any other variations. And here we're gonna close our knees so you can bring your hands underneath and open the knees a little wider than hips and keep the feet on the ground. And bring your hands in front of the shins. And by doing that, I'm gonna give you another angle here. By doing this, you want to round, the body wants to kind of let go. By grabbing below the knees, you're gonna press and lift and come forward. So it's a variation of Malasana right here without intensity on the ankle joints. So imagine you're trying to puff the chest, lifting the crown of the head. One more inhale. Good, and then exhale, release. We're gonna extend the legs in front of us, give them a nice shake. And we're gonna go slowly into our backs, but we're gonna do that slowly to activate the core. So if you're sitting on something, remove it. If you were sitting on something that can be used as a pillow, set it up. Now from here, we're doing Dandasana, right? That L shape, engaging the core once again, shoulders above the hips, flexing the feet, legs active, core active, relaxation and the breath. Reach the hands in front of you like a zombie, palms facing down. Now we're gonna sink the chest towards the spine. So we're gonna do a cat on the upper back. We're gonna round and separate the shoulder blades. Scoop the belly in. Press your heels into the floor. They are grounding you. Your thighs are engaged. You're gonna slowly, slowly come back. You're gonna come back into the floor on the upper back. The more you press the heels down, the more your chest are sinking back, the more control you might feel. That's it. Release everything on the ground. Reach the arms overhead. Give yourself a long stretch. Hug the right knee into the chest. Give it a tight, tight, tight hug. And then as you exhale, cross it over to the left, opening your right arm, maybe bending the elbow. I like to press my right foot behind my left leg. It gives me some sense of support. Maybe you can try that. Just one more inhale. And then take your time to come back into center or that neutrality, extending the right leg, adjust your body if you need to. And we're gonna hug that left knee into the chest, very tight, tight hug. So tight that you feel maybe a little stretch in the glutes area. And then cross it over to the right, resting your left foot behind your right leg. Opening that left arm and just breathe in here as you feel that stretch in all the areas in the body that you might feel it. One more inhale. And then slowly as you exhale, come back to center. Full final relaxation, Shavasana. Just notice how the body might feel energetically, perhaps a little bit more itself, more active, more awakened, more relaxed, whatever that might be for you. Relax your toes, relax your strong legs, relax your pelvis and lower back. Relax your abdomen. Soften and relaxing your chest and your shoulders. Your neck and your throat and your lips. Relax. Facial muscles deeply relax. Your eyes, your gaze, relax. Your head is relaxed. Your arms, palms, and fingers Deeply relax. Your breath, relax. Your mind is fully present, observing all the sensations in the body after the practice. Reconnecting to that state of being. As you notice your body, observe your surroundings. Just notice your body in your surroundings, the space that it takes. Fully present, the here and now. Resting in stillness. Just give you a few moments here in silence. Let's take a moment to come back into the breath a little bit more intentional. Feel and breathe slowly. Feel how your body breathes as you manipulate the breath. And just move the head gently side to side, very slowly. It's like a gentle awakening. It's like the spirit or the energy is coming back to this vessel, right? Moving fingers, your toes, feel free to move your wrists in circles, your ankles in circles. Give yourself a long stretch when you're ready. Just awakening from this very constructive rest. Hop one knee at a time into the chest. And once you're both there, rock side to side. Feel your body support and weight on the sacrum area. Continue cultivating that sense of relaxation with your eyes closed, relaxing your senses. We're going to roll into our right side. And we're going to pillow with our right arm, stacking the knees. Just relax here. I invite you right here, right now, to kind of set an intention for the day. Or if you're practicing at the end of the day, just kind of set an intention for the evening. An intention that goes in alignment with how you feel right now. An intention to flesh somehow, somewhere, throughout the day, the little things you can do to take care of yourself, to pamper yourself, to be kind to yourself, to love and accept more of yourself. Press slowly into the ground and come all the way and find your comfortable seated position. It's going to take a few moments to close our practice together. Continue cultivating that sense of ease and calm, and balance. Continue observing, how do I feel in my body after the practice? What areas are feeling more themselves? Maybe squeezing and appreciating more the gentle space between the thoughts. Your breath perhaps feels more relaxed. And continue to choose over and over to consciously relax tension in the body, soften your shoulders, your jaw, your eyes, your grip. Always finding ways to self-soothe yourself whenever your body goes through stress. Any type of stress, not only when we travel, but any type of stress. Let's bring our palms together, prayer position, heart, gentle bow of the head. Practicing gratitude and appreciation brings more of that into your life. So we all want to feel good, and we come to yoga because we want to feel good. So let's just have appreciation for that. Just gratitude for our bodies and the practice that allows us to feel good. So infinite gratitude, deep inhale and deep exhale. Honor your intention for the rest of the day or the evening. Thank you so much for practicing with me. It's truly an honor to get you back into feeling more comfortable with your body. As usual, if you have any questions, any suggestions, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you soon again.